Hi there, everyone. Meteorologist Ryan Breton here with a live 9 o'clock update on the snow, which in the last hour has spread into the entire western half of the state, essentially. Not much happening in New Haven. You can still see the visibility fairly good. But if you look closely in Hartford, you can start to see it's getting a little lower, and we do have some light snow that's now falling in Hartford. The temperature at 34 degrees, that's coming down. The dew point's 23, so there's still room for the temperature to fall, and tonight the temperature will fall into the 20s as the snow moves in across the state. Here is the live radar and what's happening on the leading edge of this snow. Anywhere that's pretty much along and east of the Connecticut River, there is still some dry air that this snow is being eaten up by. So basically what the radar is seeing in this part of the state are snowflakes that are 3, 4, 5,000 feet above the ground, and they're evaporating before they hit the ground. So once the air gets saturated, then the flakes make it to the ground, and it looks like that's happened now in the Hartford area. Reports of flakes from Southington and Wolcott and Waterbury as well, and everywhere west here it is now snowing. And there are some decent bands of snow, especially as you get around Danbury and into eastern New York. Another way we can look at this is by the visibilities. And if you were with us at 8 o'clock when we did a live update, everybody in the state, with the exception of Danbury, had a 10. And a perfect 10 means there's nothing that the weather sensor can see falling. But notice in Hartford, the visibility now down to 4. That's light snow. Windsor, about 2 miles, in the contour here just updated to illustrate that. Anywhere in western Connecticut, the snow is falling, and as you get toward the New York border, it is steadier snow, 2-mile visibility in Danbury. Eastern Connecticut, it'll be in your direction in about an hour to an hour and a half from now, so the snow continuing to work in. You can see that here. Again, eastern Connecticut, this is drying up before reaching the ground, but everywhere from, say, 91 west, the snow is reaching the ground. New Haven, you've got a little hole here, but that will be filling in, and shortly you will start seeing the snow accumulate too. We've already got a couple of bands starting to develop. We'll take you to the hills to the northwest of Waterbury. Decent band of snow around the town of Washington, Morris, Litchfield, over to Harwinton and Torrington, a little band that's forming here. So this is just the beginning. We've obviously got a ways to go, but once you get into the snow, it will start to pick up in intensity pretty quickly. Notice the darker blues here in the Hudson Valley, around I-87, and points to the east around 84. That's coming into western Connecticut over the next couple of hours, and there is more to the west too. So we've got a ways to go here. The numbers are on the way down. We're now below freezing. Waterbury, Torrington, New Milford right at freezing, Meriden at 33, likely to drop below freezing soon. And we talked earlier about how there is some dry air. The dew points are pretty low. These numbers will come up. The temperatures will come down. When that happens, the air is saturated and the snow makes it all the way down to the ground. Tonight, temperatures dropping into the 20s inland. It will be a lighter, fluffier, drier snow inland. At the shoreline where it's a little bit warmer, it's a little bit of a wetter, stickier snow. So you will not get as much at the shoreline, even though we're expecting a general 4 to 8 inches of snow across the state. So here we go, hour by hour. By 10 o'clock, we should have the snow into the eastern counties, snowing just about everywhere. And some of those bands I showed you over in New York begin moving into western Connecticut around 10, 11, midnight with some fairly steady, if not heavy snow for a little while. We keep this going midnight, 3 in the morning, snowing statewide. Then by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, the best energy and forcing for snow starts to slide out underneath of us. So after this point, the snow will start to lighten up in intensity. That said, one of the issues for the morning commute will be the snow is on the ground, and the other issue is snow will likely still be falling. So the morning commute is not going to be good regardless. However, later in the morning, after about 9 o'clock, the snow really lightening up. The temperatures should begin to come up too. So any road treatments the plow crews are doing will really work wonders later in the morning. That said, there still will be some snow that falls at times into the afternoon. The difference at this point will be it'll be a little bit warmer at the shoreline, so whatever is falling won't really accumulate, and there may even be a little bit of drizzle or light rain that mixes in. But inland it will be colder, especially as you get up into the hills. So there will still be some minor accumulation even into tomorrow afternoon in northern Connecticut. And then by 5, 6 o'clock, the last of the flurries will be out of here and we clear out tomorrow night. So here is the snowfall forecast we first brought you over the weekend. The same general idea goes with a widespread 4 to 8 inches of snow across the state. a wetter snow the closer to the shoreline you are, and since it'll be a wetter snow there, I would lean on the lower end of the range, probably more like 4 or 5 around New Haven. Then as you head inland, it's a lighter, fluffier snow that can stack up a little bit more, and where it may accumulate into the afternoon in the hills, 8, 9, 10, 11 inches possible within this shaded area here from Wolcott and Torrington and Plymouth, Bristol, up to Avon, Burlington, Canton, Winstead, and New Hartford. So you get the idea. It's on the eastern slopes of the hills up here. And there may be some spots in the northeast hills that get around 8 as well. But I think it's more this part of the state where it's a little bit colder and it may be able to stack up a little bit easier. I've got a couple of graphics to show you here. This one is how it adds up in the New Haven area. Notice around 4 inches, and your accumulation is essentially over by about 9 o'clock in the morning. Whatever you get after then in New Haven would probably just be a coating as temperatures warm up above freezing. How about Hartford? Same idea here. However, it's a little bit colder in the Hartford area during the day, so you might pick up an additional inch of snow during the late morning and early afternoon. Not a ton, but enough that the ground could get coated again. And here is Waterbury. Same idea as Hartford. You could pick up an additional inch or 2, but you'll really notice the difference as you get up into Torrington. That's where there may be an additional couple of inches during the day, given it's a little bit colder, a little bit higher elevation, and you might be able to accumulate the snow a little bit more in that direction. So I'm going to pull up our Facebook feed. We've got Facebook Live going. I know some of you might be watching on Fox 61 Plus, which is our streaming app. YouTube, but I'll pull up our Facebook feed. If you've got any questions, feel free to chime in. I'll go back and answer them if I can't during this next minute or two. But let's see here. Snowing in Bristol. Thanks, Stephen. Snowing in Torrington. Thanks, Shelley. Stephen asks, any thunder snow? Good question. My gut feeling on that would be probably not, because what we're not seeing in this circumstance is a storm that's really like bombing out and strengthening rapidly to our south. That's not happening. If anything, the opposite is happening. It'll tend to be kind of weakening as it goes by south of us. However, this system has a history, even today, of producing thunderstorms in Ohio, Pennsylvania. Yesterday, it caused severe weather over the plains. So I can't rule out maybe that a rumble of thunder happens in some of these bands of snow, but it wouldn't be your traditional thunder snow in the way that you get in the nor'easter, at least the way I see it. Can't rule it out, but probably not likely. That'd be my answer on that one. Marie is watching from Naples. If that is Naples, Florida, I think you just made everybody in the comments jealous, so enjoy it. Alexander, Southington, snowing at a good clip. Thank you for that. You know, it will ramp up pretty quickly, and as the temperature drops below freezing, we'll coat up the roads pretty quick. So by 11 midnight, you know, it'll be tough getting around. Star says, y'all have had a good winter, though. You're absolutely right. It has not been that bad here. Marie, snowing in Southbury. Thank you for that. Alyssa, snowing in Hartford. I saw it outside the station, too. Let's see. How about Norwich? Norwich, probably square in the 4 to 8 inches. Tough to lean one way or another, and it should start within the next, I'd say, 40 to 45 minutes in Norwich. Southington, 4 to 8 inches. Candace asked, do I have any more storms coming? I will leave you with this, and that is our 7-day forecast, because yes, there is another storm coming, and it's Friday night into Saturday. But before we get there, I want to show you, look at Thursday. We may get into the 50s, probably some rain showers in the morning, then a little bit of clearing in the afternoon. We should pop into the 50s. And then there is another storm that comes up from the south Friday into Saturday. I'll give you a quick little preview of this. I'll be honest, given we've got one storm here now, there's still a lot of uncertainty with this one. But it looks like a bigger storm, a little bit more potent, and it may take a little bit of a warmer track. So my thinking right now is if you've got Friday afternoon and Friday night plans, there could be some snow, sleet, or rain if you're farther south. Probably be pretty messy with a combination of precipitation. And then Saturday, it's iffy. It could be leftover rain or snow. It all depends on the track of the storm. And as I mentioned, we've got this to deal with tonight into tomorrow. So I imagine tomorrow afternoon we'll be able to get more specific about this. But if you have Friday night plans, which by the way I do, so I've been paying close attention to this too, it may be problematic. It might be a little bit of a bigger storm with not just snow, but maybe a mix, and then it goes over to rain. So can't guarantee it'll be a snowstorm, but it may not be pretty either. So I'll leave you all with that. I will say this, snow still spreading into eastern Connecticut. The heaviest happens overnight. Morning commute will be pretty rough. And then tomorrow afternoon, in most cases, it should be okay getting around. If you're up in the hills, if you're in northern Connecticut, just be careful because there may still be some areas of snow, some periods of snow that can coat the roads. But once everything is treated in the afternoon, things should be a lot better. We'll be on for the Fox 61 News at 10 and 11. If you have any pictures of the snow, you can use the Near Me section of our app. And take pictures, send them in. We always love to see them. You can also tweet me at Ryan Breton WX. I'll be looking for some pictures to share tonight on the news at 10 and 11. Hope you'll join us then. If not, we'll see you tomorrow morning as well. Have a good night.